Talking about memories, yeah, we're gonna make them. Talking about rules, you know we're gonna break them. When the lights come on, everybody's screaming, lighters in the sky, yeah, everybody's singing every word to every song to the girl they're taking home tonight. When the lights come on, everybody's feeling a hallelujah high from the floor to the ceiling. Yeah, the drink that we're drinking, the smoke that we're smoking, the party we're throwing, it's going all night long. When the lights come on, when the lights come on. Yeah, we all the same cause we thinking the same thing. We on the same page cause we sipping the same drink. Here's a little something to thank y'all for showing up. Al Dean and the boys are about to blow it up. When the lights come on and everybody's screaming, lighters in the sky, everybody's...
We're coming out on the winning side of that in our victories this year. And, you know, we want to win special teams. You know, I felt like we did that in the game. And you know, we want to make teams drive the field, have to, you know, snap it 12 to 15 times to score. You know, we kind of accomplished that, didn't give up explosive touchdowns. And our offense, we want them to get first downs. And so in the big four things that you look at, obviously to win the game is the most important thing. I mean, whether it's 49-48 or 3-2, as Coach Gotze used to say, you know, the name of the game is win. But when I look at things, you know, that we want to control and come out on the winning side on, you know, those are the big four for me.
Well, it's especially important for the defense once they've had a long drive and not lose their composure and really not let the momentum get to them when they get down in the red zone and still going to the ball and causing those turnovers in the red zone.
Yeah, it's a part of the game, and you know, it can turn a game around. And you know, you know, one of our themes is we like to conduct ourselves with stone cold business, is what we talk about a lot, and that just means that, you know, nothing phases you. Success, failure, you know, turnovers, big plays, long drives, you know, an opponent that's trash talking, you know, whatever may happen, big crowd, no crowd, it's just nothing phases you. You know, there's a consistent level of play and expectations and how you conduct yourself. And I think that's part of it. Our kids don't get rattled, they don't get down, and they're always trying to fight to make a play. And, you know, when you get turnovers in the red zone, that's a result of that, you know, that kind of attitude.
And especially conditioning came into play. It was another hot night. Gosh, I don't see any end for that coming, but you just don't see Coleman really seem to be getting affected by the heat like some teams do down in the fourth quarter.
Well, you know, that's something we've talked a lot about, you know, on this show and other places. I mean, you know, you got to get a certain amount of work in, and you have to have a certain amount of padded work, but, you know, you can't be hard-headed anymore about it. And, you know, and if you're not as close to 100% as you can be on Friday night at 7, then, you know, really all that practice is not doing you a whole lot of good. And so it's you know, for a long time it's been an inexact science on how much you rest the kids, you know, how much do you practice, how hard do you go, and how much hitting do you do, how much running and all that. But it's not as inexact as it used to be. And, you know, we talk about it as a staff, and I think really being able to go on Wednesday mornings, you know, we having football during first period, we have our long periods on Wednesday. You know, really our work week as far as physical preparation is about complete, about 90% complete as of Wednesday, about 8:45. And I think that gives us that extra gear on Friday. I really do. I really believe in it. So, you know, and our style of lifting, the Olympic style, it's very aerobic. And the guys get conditioned when they're in the weight room, not just in practice or when we run. And, you know, we really don't run very many sprints. I mean, it's a total program focus in how we prepare.
Okay. Well, when do the heat timeouts actually end? Is it end of September? Or?
Well, yes, but if both coaches agree and the referees agree, you continue them through the season if need be. It's you know, they don't say, hey, this is it, and it doesn't matter how hot it is, because I saw something that's going to be 96 degrees Friday night, and so we're going to keep having the heat breaks as long as it's as hot as it is. And then I think really both the referees and the coaches have to agree to stop having them on a certain night. But it's definitely through August and September in Alabama, they're very needed and necessary, and they serve a great purpose.
Well, I know the long-range forecast shoots you into the second week of October. Still going to be hot as all get out. So you're either going to be conditioned or worn out by then.
That's right. It's been brutal, but like I said, having the flexibility to go in the morning some, and we work hard, but it's rare that we're out on the practice field more than an hour and 45 minutes anyway. Definitely not 2 hours, because we work fast. We try to get a lot of reps in, and we can get out of the heat, and I think that makes a difference come Friday night.
Okay, well, let's get on into the first quarter, and the Bearcats have been starting pretty fast, but then we've been a little slow coming out in the second half. But this game, we came out pretty good starting the game and at the start of the second half.
The last in our 3 victories this year, we've sort of turned that, and that. I don't think it's so much what we're doing, it's just more of a focus, and it's been an emphasis and say, hey, we've got to come out better. We are coming out after halftime and running a few plays as far as, maybe we've changed that, but I think it's mostly just a concentration and a thing that, when all the coaches are reinforcing a certain theme, the kids are going to pay attention.
All right, well, let's get on into the first quarter. Another beautiful night at Oliver Stadium. We certainly hadn't had to worry about any rain or anything of that nature, because it's been brutally hot, but it's been clear, and the Bearcats come firing out, ready to go.
Yeah, I love our new format on the show here. This is John Drake and his group of students doing a phenomenal job, and they're winning all kind of awards all around the state, and we're doing the show here at the high school.
Nobody really understands what goes into producing a show. It's sort of like Friday night for the Bearcats. You've got the band, the cheerleaders, and everybody involved. There's a whole lot more to do than people really realize.
It's unbelievable. It really is. And good job, everybody, getting to the football. Like I said, Alabama has a very efficient offense. Really, their first drive was not indicative of the kind of team they are, and they made a lot of plays in the game.
Oh, they really did. Yeah, the score could have been a whole lot closer if they had had production in the red zone.
That's right. Do a good job. We're close to busting one of these punt returns. Started off what we'll call the waggle here, and there's Jeb Bartle making a catch. Jeb's is an athlete, and he's come back to us. He didn't play last year. He's a great baseball player, and put in the rocket sweep this week. It was really good. Albertville wasn't expecting it, and when people pack it inside, we've got some perimeter plays. Man, beautiful trap right there. That's just being under center, and I'm telling you, that was blocked and read by the running back about as well as you can do it. And that's just a credit to those old linemen and Jalen and Coach Saint and that whole offensive staff. I mean, there's a lot of work goes into making that play right there, and a lot of people think, everybody's in the shotgun and things like that, but I'm telling you, from coordinating defenses for a long time, it is so much harder to tell where that ball is when the quarterback's under center.
Right.
And a lot of the faking and the footwork and those type of things has really been lost in the game when everybody's back there. And I'm telling you, that play wouldn't be possible in the shotgun as much as it is for us right now.
But I know it's important to get up 7-0 here in the first quarter after you stop them on their first drive, but they come out and begin to move the ball here on their second possession.
That's right. And we had a couple of short kickoffs. We're trying to get a little bit further downfield. See Alex Shepard there running the ball. They did a good job hitting a quick little vertical route and get our linebackers dropping underneath that. And we were chasing the flat routes, and that quarterback did a good job of reading it. Got to be a little more aggressive, covering the guy. You may be running the zone coverage, but when a guy enters your zone, he's your man. So little things like that, they did a nice job executing. I felt like, especially in the passing game. But right here we got a couple stops in the run game here. Trying to get our pad level lower and lower, and you get them stopped. You stop, make them snap it, and stuff like that can happen. If you give up explosive touchdowns and take a bunch of chances, and then you don't have a chance. We tell our guys, get them on the ground, make them snap it, and the chances are they're going to make a mistake. backed up right here, and you know we gotta attack people in our blocks. We gotta get downhill on a run, and you know, we could have got out of there. And it's you know, obviously the field position is flipped right here, and just some little things here and there to clean up, and we'll get a first down and give ourselves some breathing room. Really good punt by Tanner Heatherly. He's working hard. You know, Tanner was a defensive lineman and offensive lineman too, and he tore his labrum, and he's sort of restricted to being a punter, and he really works hard at it.
And he had a heck of a good role there.
Yes, he did. He's really proud of Tanner and how he's kind of handled that injury and really being able to contribute to the team.
Well, when you start within your 10 and back them up on their own 40, that's a heck of a good punt.
Yeah,
game.
Great job by Matt Brock there. He's having a great junior season as our safety. You got guys running the ball still. You know, I feel like we have a physical advantage. I feel like we're a little stronger than they are, and it's a result of a lot of hard work in the weight room. And you know, I think our guys are doing in the weight room is translating onto the field, and you know, we're hoping that's something that increases as an advantage for us.
Well, they really look good here in the first quarter, and you always love when your defense is swarming to the ball like they do, and that's been Coleman's really standout trait this year, is that defense has really gone to the ball.
Yeah, and you know, when we talked about it before, I don't feel like we have just like a superstar. You know, I think maybe the last several years or many times in the past you've had kind of that player or two players that really make the majority of your tackles, and everybody's contributing this year, and you know, that's the way I like it. And you know, man, these guys are young. You know, most of them don't have varsity experience, and you know, most of the time we only have one senior on the field, and you know, it's a bunch that really buys into the coaching. You know, Coach Walker and Coach Morris, Coach Hopper do a super job, and I really haven't been very much involved in the defensive side as people might expect, because you know, I have a complete confidence in those guys, and obviously we talk and on a daily basis, but you know, I'm just real impressed with the intelligence of our kids, and they understand. You know, I've always tried to be a coach and promoted in a coaching staff. I want the kids to understand why they have to do something and how it works in an overall scheme.
Well, we're up 7-0, and we're going to take a commercial break, and this is the Coleman Football Review, brought to you by Coleman Power Board, Bill Smith GMC and Buick, Traditions Bank, and also Target Pest Control. And we'll be back with a second quarter after a commercial break.
What's not to love starts with a smile, a shake of the hand. Want a great deal, we got the best plan. What's not to love? That's how you feel. This is the place where savings are real. At Mitch Smith Chevrolet, what's not to love?
Johnny's Barbecue, family owned and operated since 1963. Dine in or carry out. Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. Stuffed potatoes, pork, ribs, chicken, catfish, and much, much more. Try our weekend wings and Brunswick stew. And don't forget Johnny's on the Road, catering and delivery. Mention you saw us on the Coleman High School Network, and go Bearcats!
Welcome back to the Coleman Football Review. We're brought to you by the Coleman Power Board, Bill Smith GMC Buick, Target Pest Control, and Citizens Bank and Trust. But now, Coach, I know after the long drive, y'all had a chat with them and try to create some of the issues that you were seeing on defense on their long drive, but as a whole, their defense really played good. And like you say, you got a great job going, and I know your background is in the defensive side of the ball, but you got Matt Hopper, who you talk about being the guy in the middle years and years ago. He was that guy, so he brings that enthusiasm to that defense and really motivates them to get after the football.
Absolutely, we're all on the same page around here as far as what we expect, and we're all talking the same language and have the same philosophy about handling kids, motivating kids and the schemes, and so now I couldn't be happier with the staff we've been able to put together here.
All right, well, let's get on into the second quarter and watch these Bearcats.
stole a play out of our playbook. A little quarterback sneak on 4th down.
That's just hard to stop if
It
they
is,
get any push.
I mean, you really got a submarine under those linemen, and they run a little GH power scheme right here, and you know, we're a spill team. We try to come underneath blocks, make it keep bouncing out wide. Man, great interception right there, and that's just you know, that interception doesn't just happen just because you show up on Friday night. I mean, that's a week of preparation, knowing that the routes are coming, and you know, the hard work Coach Walker and Coach Hopper do, and Coach Morris do, as far as, you know, preparing the guys, you know, and they know what to expect on Friday night, I'm going to promise you. So.
And from the offense, we're really running a variety of different plays, and that's tough for a defense to adjust to.
Right. There's Jake Doolin, see, on what you call Sally reverse, and you know, and that may not look like much. Maybe it's not as flashy as throwing it downfield, but you know, that's 7 yards. It's pretty good. There's Jaden Sullivan, man, just like I said, becoming such a great north-south runner, and just seeing the holes, his vision's getting so much better, and it's just really great to see, you know, Jaden have a breakout year this year. Guy works hard, and you know, he's done a lot of work in the weight room and preparing himself, and he's just, you know, super coachable, and just really proud of him. And you know, we're able to, you know, I think we took a step back, say, after our second game, and kind of simplified some things, and you know, made sure we were good in a certain based look of plays, and now we're able to expand a little bit. Really proud of Brody Adams coming in here and knocking that field goal out, and our protection has really gotten better. Coach Morris and works hard on her. He's our special teams coordinator, and you know, we're getting better and better in the kicking game, and especially in our field goals. You know, and really, you know, like I said, Brody's, you know, never played football before, and look at him, he's trying to get in on the tackle right there. Is a good sign. Got big Will Stallings in there in the middle. You know, he's helping us out on defense a little bit. There you see Kennedy Griffin making a play in the backfield with help from Alex Shepard, and just negative plays are just unbelievable. You know, I mean, just changes everything. Did a great job finding the guy, the quarterback, sticking with the receiver, knew he was going to break open there last minute, and we couldn't quite get to him. And you know, it's just a great play on their part. Getting a little bit outflanked right there. Mike Limebach's got to see that read a little quicker. He's unblocked on that play. Did a good job throwing what we'll call it kind of a sticks route. And like I said, Albertville's offense is very efficient.
Right. And there's really no way to defend that play, quite honestly.
Yeah, you know, it's as far as what we're trying to do, and again, make them snap the football. Good roll tackle there in the box, and they found a soft spot in their zone right here. Like I said, we've got linebackers chasing flat routes right there, and they need to drop on that vertical. You know, we kind of tell them, great hit by Houston Smith. That kind of stuff right there causes turnovers later.
Right.
You know, backs get worn out from, you know, physical contact is almost like, it's like running a mile or something. Just great pressure, almost get that ball, and again, that's, you know, that's being physical, you know, playing hard. You know, Josh Moran is a super strong kid, and you know, still learning the game. Great job, Jalen Huey. We read the screen. You know, the linebacker takes the screen guy, he didn't have anybody to throw to, and then we knocked the pass down, and just a great play. You know, 4th down stop's huge, you know.
And it all goes back to that fumble that really changes their outlook emotionally, and then we just follow it up and end up with possession.
Exactly. So there's slide protection. There's Jalen Huey blocking their, you know, Power 5 commitment. Trinity Bell, you know, a big, good-looking kid. That's a kid that's been a basketball player. He's got all the measurables. He looks just like a guy that plays on Sundays, and that's why he's a recruit. And you know, people say, well, you know, maybe he's not this or that. Well, I'm gonna tell you, he's got things you can't coach, and that's right. Being 6'7" is one of them, and that guy's going to end up being a player. You watch. What a great catch by Isaiah Jones right there. I mean, we're going to throw the ball up to Isaiah and give him 50-50 balls. I mean, that's just what we're going to do, and we're trying to make people put 2 people on him and take a guy out of the box. And if people continue to play one-on-one, he's going to get a lot of balls thrown to him. So.
Well, I know it's been satisfying to see the growth of Isaiah from the first game to now. He's really
you know, he
a
hasn't
contributor.
played a whole lot. He's had injury issues. I know I believe he was hurt in the first game last year. And he's starting to figure out that weightlifting really makes a difference. And he's starting to get stronger, and you know, that helps his flexibility and prevents injuries, and we're really happy with his progress.
And with his frame, he can stay in the weight room.
Oh, yeah, that's
really,
right.
Not going to slow him down.
That's right. And that's tough. You know, he's a three-sport athlete, and we've just made such a commitment again. You know, as an athletic department, and so you know, guys like him, we want kids to play multiple sports. I mean, if a kid wants to play 3 sports, we want to do everything we can to encourage that. And you know, Isaiah helps all the sports he's in, but at the same time, you know, we want him to continue to lift weights, and because that helps his development and it helps all the teams he's a part of. And so, you know, we've really sat down, and I think we've got a great plan, a great structure, you know, to help a guy like him to continue to work out, but also participate and have fun in 3 sports.
But if he's going to play those 3 sports, he needs to stay in that weight room and put his body in the best shape that he can to tolerate those 3 sports. But it's been a great first half. You're up 17-0. When you going in, it's going to be a tight football game, but I know you're glad to go to the locker room up 17-0 here at the end of the first half.
Yeah, I felt like it's solid. You know, I mean, that's what I would say. You know, Albertville's a good team. And like I said, their offense is good, and I felt good about it because we were winning the turnover battle. We were making them drive the field. We had kicked a field goal. We're winning on the special teams. You know, and our offense is getting first downs. And you know, if we're doing that, I mean, I feel good. All
right. Well, we're going to take a commercial break and be back with a halftime with the Coleman Bearcat Band. But this is the Coleman Football Review brought to you by Bill Smith, GMC Buick, Traditions Bank, Coleman Power Board, and Target Pest Control, and also Citizens Bank and Trust. And we'll be back after the halftime.
For more than 26 years, we've been providing friendly personal banking services for the citizens of Coleman and surrounding counties. We continue to provide new and improved services to our customers, and we even have a new look. So come by and see us at any of our 9 convenient locations. And don't forget, we're open on Saturdays.
Home. It's where you take your time. Build the future. Make your memories. Celebrate. Come home. Alpha Insurance.
For the best agents in the business, call Kathy Sims in Coleman.
You never know what curves.
And welcome back to the Coleman Football Review, brought to you by GMC Buick, Bill Smith, who's got a lot full of trucks. Also Traditions, not Traditions, but Citizens Bank and Trust, Coleman Power Board, and Target Pest Control. But a great halftime show. I know you never get to see it, but Albertville, they have an outstanding band, and then they were followed by the Bearcat Band, and they have a tight window they have to squeeze in because I know you don't want to start out in the hole when you have to kick off.
Well, you know, Mr. Smith does a phenomenal job with our band, and I'm going to tell you, these band directors, I'm personal friends with several of them, you know, Gary Taylor and Randall Key, and working with Mr. Smith. I mean, those guys are competitive with each other. I'll never forget being a young coach here, and Gary Taylor, I had lunch with him, and I was talking to him at lunch, and I said, you know, I got a glimpse of the Albertville's band on our video. I think we were playing them that week, and he got real sad, what did they look like? And then I was like, well, it looked like they had an Elvis on there, and he started asking a bunch of questions about it, but it's those guys do a great job, man. I mean, and man, you know, the band, parents and stuff like that. I mean, so many of the fans that are at the games and things are affiliated with the band, so it's that's what helps fill the stands up, and it's, you know, high school football is just a great event. It still is, and people need to come out and support these kids because they're seeing good football, seeing kids play hard, and they're seeing a great band and cheerleaders, and you know, I'm really excited about this year.
Well, I know Albertville's fans came in and filled in on the Coleman side to watch the halftime, so really we got our money's worth for halftime. But let's get on into the second half and see how the Bearcats come out and respond against the Albertville Aggies.
So they had won the toss and took the ball first. We were on offense first, and you know, the thing is, again, we want to get out there and get first downs, flip the field position. Started off a little bit slow. You know, punts. I had a little difficult time. Got a few yards on it right there, but you know, not quite how we want to start. You know, we definitely want to get out there and get first down, at least flip the field position, establish that line of scrimmage again. But our defense coming out, being aggressive, making plays. They hit that little, you know, that little vertical route right in there again, and they did a good job of executing that.
Yeah, they hit that soft spot in that zone, and quarterback, he really can throw a good ball.
Yeah, they're right. They run good routes. Huge stop though, kind of make a stand, and they had a really hard time running the ball consistently. And now here we're back on offense, and we're about to get it going just a little bit. And you can see our offensive linemen getting downfield. You know, their hands heavy on the ground. Man, Jalen's just turning into just a superb running back. It's just he's seeing where the holes are. He explodes through the hole when he needs to, and he's patient when he needs to. And that's just a.
And he's got that speed too once he gets in the open.
And once again, Jake Doolin on the saddle reverse right there, getting great yardage. Again, seeing Jaden Sullins right there pick the holes, be satisfied with making 6, 7, 8 yards. Never quite get him down right there. And into our trips package right here, Max does what a super job avoiding the rush and made a great throw, and great catch. That's just you know, we work hard on the passing game, and it's coming around, and we're figuring out what we do well. Again, we're trying to establish that line of scrimmage in our run game, and you know, that's a little play we kind of improvised right there, and what a super job by Max and Jaden right there. And just see Jaden picking the holes right now, and just he's seeing it clearly, and man, it's great to have two backs like this. And you know, our offensive line they get motivated. You know, they know if they can just block just a little bit right there, then these guys can take it to the house or get big plays.
And when they're driving like that, when you're taking on Jaden and Jalen time and time again, those linebackers are just going to get worn out for the night.
Like I said, the physical toll. You know, and so that was a huge touchdown right there. And it started, things start getting a little bit more out of reach right there. We need to get a little bit deeper on this sky kick, and we ended up kicking it deep the next time. But kickers are like major league pitchers sometimes. Sometimes they got their stuff, and then sometimes it's going a certain direction is maybe not quite working. You know, again, you see Albertville's offense, they do a super job of sticking with the run, sticking with their game plan. That's what I'm probably impressed about that. They didn't panic and just start throwing it every down. They had a specific plan. We had a big hole right there, and that's one of those things we go into this week and we correct those things. Sometimes you got to see it on film. And there you go. And I think Coach Bryant used to say, "Bingo."
That's a goodie.
Yeah, that is. That's huge. Again, getting the guys on the ground and making them snap it and things like that will happen. Great cut right there by Jaden Sullins. Probably in the past he would have bounced it out wide. Now he's trusting the hole, and then this is the real backbreaker right here. You just see the kind of speed for a big man. Albertville is not. They're probably a faster team, but they're starting to get worn down a little bit.
Right.
And that's that's a result of our conditioning and the kind of shape we're in, and those kind of plays happen. Just like how we pitch the ball to the referee and getting used to plays like that. And it's again, you have turnover and our guys are, again, one of our big things, do your job, and our guys are doing their job, and they don't care about the score and the situations in the game. They're focused on what they're doing for that particular play, and you just see the results of, Carson Hill and Lane Smith and Will Stallings and, Evan Richards and Ben Turner and Jeb Bartle. I mean, these guys are, coming off the football, and they believe in what we're doing, and you're starting to see some really good offensive line play around here. Of course, Coach David Hanna helps Coach Saint with the offensive line, and those guys, they work these guys every day, and you're starting to see the results of just sticking with something and getting better at it.
Well, the progression from first game till last Friday night is you got to be really impressed with the improvement that offensive line's made.
Right. That's the key to our season right now.
Right.
Little quick pitch out here to see Jamar Kay gets in there and Jamar, he battled sickness all week.
Right.
He had a rough week. He was at home with the doctor and just he showed up to play, the game ready to play, but he was gassed from the week. I mean, we've all been through it. It's just he was feeling a little light, but man, what a great kid! And he came back and had a really good game in our JV game last night, which we went over to Albertville and won the 9th grade and the JV game. So still really happy about the progress of our young teams.
And their only loss has been in Vestavia.
That's right.
But we're going to take a commercial break and be back with the 4th quarter. But this is the Coleman Football Review with Oscar Glasscock, and we're brought to you by Citizens Bank and Trust, Bill Smith GMC Buick, also Coleman Power Board and Target Pest Control. And we'll be back after a commercial break.
You never know what curves life will throw at you. We depend on our ride to grip the road, no matter what. So whether life takes you out on the open road or across town, McGriff Tire Pros has the right tire for you. McGriff Tire Pros carries great tire brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Michelin offers safe, fuel-efficient, long-lasting tires that provide excellent performance and extraordinary value. McGriff Tire Pros, downtown Coleman. Online at McGriffTirePros.com.
At Mitch Smith Chevrolet, what's not to love? Starts with a smile, a shake of the hand. On a great deal, we got the best plan. What's not to love? That's how you feel. This is the place where savings are real. At Mitch Smith Chevrolet, what's not to love?
Johnny's Barbecue.
Welcome back to the Coleman Football Review. I'm here with Coach Oscar Glasscock, and you've done an excellent job through 3 quarters, and it's, like I said, it's another hot night, so you just got to get some fresh bodies in there and finish this out.
Yeah, well, we feel good about where we are in the game, and we want to try to make, sub some guys in there, but, we're not going to just wholesale substitute. We want to play some of our backs behind our starting offensive line, and we substitute with a plan. We also know that we got a JV game coming up that Monday night, and there's going to be guys getting all they want. We got guys playing both ways and playing every snap, and so it's a little bit of a piecemeal substitution pattern, but it's carefully thought out, and it's good to see some of those guys get in there and have a chance. JT Blackwood doesn't get a chance behind the starting offensive line, a whole lot, and so this is a chance for him to get out there behind them and see how he can manage the team and put some of those running backs behind that veteran line and things like that. So, but the games that Albertville's got their starters in, and they've proven they can move the football, and so we're like I said, we substitute very lightly, but we feel good about where we are in a position in the game.
Okay, well, let's get on into the 4th quarter. Albertville had a good crowd come over, and they have a quality program. They put a lot of emphasis on their athletics, and we regularly see them in baseball and basketball. So
very supportive community.
Very supportive.
They support those schools. You see JT Blackwood and Gabe Sosa in the games, and Jamar Kay, getting Noah Key in there.
Yeah.
Noah has been a receiver, and we've moved him to fullback and wing back, and he's picking it up. And he's getting better all the time. Barely missed that field goal. It was a good effort. It's hard for me to tell where I was standing.
It was close.
Yeah. See, substituting some guys in there. We got Jay Knopp, and there's big Mason Richards in the middle, doing a good job running his angles, running the football. And Mason's, been a guy he had some surgeries and some injuries, and he's just now really, back with us. So it's exciting to see him get involved. So we got Houston Smith and Noah Busman in the game, and Griffin Barksdale's back. Boy, just barely. We got to make that play. We got to get our hands up and make that play. Jake Doolin's come over and helped us a lot on defense, and
that's a great play from the offense. Right. So,
good tackling over here. Jaden Kay's continuing to work hard, and he's a big hitter over there. there's a certain standard we want to play to, and if you're on that field, we expect you to play hard and run to the football. There's Sam Brand in good position. Got a good inside position, know the routes is coming. They try to throw a little screen and go. We've got it covered, so the quarterback has to improvise right there. Again, that doesn't just happen because we show up. There's a lot of work that goes into that. And, they get down the red zone, and I believe we want to make the tackle more than they want to block and get in the end zone right there. And that's good to see. Really good quarterback. He's a strong kid, and we kind of took it to us just a little bit there. And like I said,
we really didn't help ourselves with the penalty too, and that's always critical when you get down in the red zone.
Yeah, we've done pretty well avoiding penalties and doing our jobs, but it's part of the game. There's no team's going to get through a game without penalties, and
well, if they do, they're not, not going up full speed.
Yeah. A great cut by Jamar Kay, and like I said, he was feeling a little weak, probably compared to how he usually is. Great block on the trap right there by Bailey Hayes. Man, that guy's, this is perfect offense for him. You get an athletic guard right there that can pull and is aggressive and physical like he is, and you can do some things. Boy, what a great run by Jamar Kay. It had a holding penalty out there on the edge, and man, it's just unnecessary. And at least we get to see it on TV. It may not have gone in the scorebooks right here, and get a little John Drake instant replay, and you see that guy, and penalty or not, that was a great run.
Those are frustrating penalties when it's not affecting the play. And
that's right. Yeah. Sometimes they do affect the play. Sometimes they wouldn't be touchdowns.
Right. A lot of times those blocking the back and holding off the ball, and it really doesn't make that difference. But it happens.
I tell old Brandon Schultz, the white hat there, where's the home cooking? I was kind of wondering here toward the end of the. And I'm just joking, Brandon, and they do a great job. And
Brandon's not going to give you home cooking.
No, I know when Coach Godsey and Coach Adcock at Decatur are talking about using Brandon's association, that's a good staff. I heard Coach Godsey say several times, if it just wasn't from Coleman, I'd use that association, and it's just, and that's a compliment to Brandon. They really do a good job. He is extremely well thought of. Talking about Brandon Schultz, and he's a heck of a car salesman too.
Yeah, he's a mess too, and that's a veteran crew.
It is. It really is a good. Every crew they send over here, they are very well trained, and they study video and have accountability from state level, and we're really fortunate to have a crew like that.
So you get a big 31-7 win, and I know you started out with 2 losses, wins in a row, but it takes a while to get that offensive line going, and you can really see the growth there from game 1 to this last one, and they'll continue to improve because they're doggone young.
Right. It's go back to a point maybe we talked about earlier, but I'm the 4th head coach here in 4 years for these seniors and a lot of these guys, and they just hadn't had the luxury of a lot of consistency, and and that's what you're starting to see now. There's been sort of a consistent way we've been teaching things and going about it. Coaches do a good job not panicking and trying to reinvent the wheel and things like that. I mean, there's this. We're trying to establish things for the long haul, and you're seeing the results of that. But I'll tell you what, the competition gets a whole lot stiffer. This second half of the season, and we better keep improving, and our goal is to improve with every rep, every lift, every meeting, and every day. And we're going to have a chance this week because you're about to see the #1 running back in the nation come into Oliver Woodard Stadium, and a high-profile player like this that probably hadn't been here since Carnell Williams. And I was talking with Coach Bates today that, he was the head coach then. I was the defense coordinator, and it's kind of ironic. Scott Mansell's the head coach at Hueytown, and he was on our defensive staff. Scott and I are close friends, and we've talked about that game, just because of the similarities as far as the caliber of running back. And I remember Kevin Wilson was on that staff, and I remember him talking to Coach Bates a year or two after we had won that game. It was one of the biggest wins I've been a part of, and I think in Coleman history. But Coach Wilson was talking about it. He goes, Carnell's playing for Auburn and running all over Vanderbilt. I said, man, we did a better job stopping Carnell than Vanderbilt did. How do we stop him? And Coach Bates said, we didn't stop him. He had 270 yards rushing. But I think they had 7 turnovers, and we always get a big laugh about that.
But you look back, though, our linebacker that night met Carnell right as he came out of the backfield and stopped him dead in the track. And it looked like Carnell had a light go off. What's this? Mm-hmm. Nobody ever stops him. But
I'm going to tell you what, Roydell Williams the same way. I don't know that I've seen him tackled more than about 3 times on film. I mean, he's really, they get the game won, they get him out, and this guy is just unbelievable. I mean, it looks like he's greased down. I mean, nobody can get a good shot on him or good hold. And from what Coach Mansell told me, he's just a super kid and
hard worker.
Usually when you see great players like that, usually a great player, is extremely coachable. They want coaching. They want to get better. They're excellent in everything that they do. And what you see on the practice field is what you see every Friday night or Saturday or Sunday. And that's, I've heard nothing but they've got another kid running back, his backup, and he's committed to UAB. And of course, Jaden Sutherland's for us is committed to the Naval Academy, and Jalen Huey's developing into a prospect. So there's going to be some talent in the backfield on that field Friday night, and it's going to take everything we've got to just be competitive in this game. I'm going to promise you, because we've got 3 top 10 6A teams lined up in a row, and but we're going to be focused on us, and we're going to be focused on us getting better and us playing as hard as we can for that particular play, and we're going to see what happens.
Well, and you got to have that offensive line for him to be so effective as a runner, and
they're big.
They're well coached too.
Yes, absolutely. They're an extremely well coached football team. They play hard, and that's just a tribute to Coach Mansell and Coach Patterson and those guys that are over there. They've been together for a while, and they do a super job, and they're a contender. And we're trying to climb the mountain while they're up there. So. It's just exciting. If you're a competitor, you want to see what you're made of against the best of the best. And
they're coming to our house, so.
Yeah, that's right. And we got, we've got to control the ball. We've got to get first downs, and we got to keep those backs on the sideline. And for us to have a chance, we got to tackle well, we got to run the ball, and we got to hope we can create some turnovers and win special teams and continue to do the things that have helped us be successful in the last several games. But it's a tremendous challenge, obviously.
And I know your defensive coaches are certainly not getting any sleep this week, trying to figure out a way. And you just got to make the plays that you can, and because he's going to get his yardage. There's just no way around it.
Well, look, we're not going to reinvent the wheel, and we're going to do what we do, and we're going to get better this week in practice, and that's our goal. And we want to be better Friday night than we were last Friday night, and that's kind of the goal every week. But you know what it is. Come Monday, we've not got another great opponent coming up, and we got to get back to work, whether we win or lose, win big, lose big. It doesn't really matter when you come back in on Monday. You got to put your boots on and get back to work. And it's really, no game's any bigger than the other. I mean, it's what you do. It's high school football, and we got to get back to work, and we're still going to love them Monday, no matter the outcome Friday. So.
Well, we'll certainly encourage everybody to get out Friday night. We're going to see some great athletes on the field, some of the best backs that you could see in the state of Alabama. I don't care if you're talking 7A on down to 1A, you're just going to have some great backs there. So encourage everybody to get behind these Bearcats, and there's going to be some times they're going to need a lift, so we need to be supportive and out there encourage them on. But Coach, we'll look forward to seeing you back next Tuesday, and hopefully we'll get after Hueytown on Friday night, but it should be an exciting game.
Yeah, I expect a really exciting atmosphere for sure.
And this is the Coleman Football Review, brought to you by Citizens Bank and Trust, Bill Smith GMC Buick, also the Coleman Power Board, and Target Pest Control. And we'll see you back here next Tuesday night.
Johnny's Barbecue, family owned and operated since 1963. Dine in or carry out. Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. Stuffed potatoes, pork, ribs, chicken, catfish, and much, much more. Try our weekend wings and Brunswick stew. And don't forget Johnny's on the Road, catering and delivery. Mention you saw us on the Coleman High School Network, and go Bearcats!
For more than 26 years, we've been providing friendly personal banking services for the citizens of Coleman and surrounding counties. We continue to provide new and improved services to our customers, and we even have a new look. So come by and see us at any of our 9 convenient locations. And don't forget, we're open on Saturdays.
Home. It's where you take your time. Build the future. Make your memories. Celebrate. Come home. Alpha Insurance.
For the best agents in the business, call Kathy Sims in Coleman.
All right, and welcome back to the Coleman Football Review. In our new format, we're featuring a different segment of the athletic department here at Coleman High School, and I'm certainly pleased to have Coach Patterson with me, and I hadn't had a chance to really talk with you since last spring, and y'all had an unbelievable run, and I know you were excited about that because I don't know that it was totally expected when you started the year, but I know those situations turned out to be very sweet.
Oh, no, we knew it the whole time.
Yeah.
We had it the whole way. Yeah, it was a very special year. Good group of guys, and, you know, we've been fortunate to have some good years, and this was a very different kind of good year. It was really, really rewarding. And to tell you the truth, last year was an extension of 2018.
Right.
And
It
2018,
didn't finish well.
That's
Yeah.
right. And so it was a fun year. It was very rewarding and very special.
Well, I know you and I have talked over the years, and what's so important, we've had some great athletes come through the Bearcat baseball, but boy, when you've got 15 players that are just gritty players that just won't lose, they're fun to coach.
It is. It's fun to coach. And when probably the most rewarding, the most gratifying type thing is when they start to get it, when they see that, you know, I'm not out here for myself, and I want to do what it takes to help the team win. That's when it starts getting really special. And we've been fortunate that our teams over the years have been that one group passes that on to the next and to the next. And so our main job every year as a coaching staff is to try to get that first. And if we get that, then we feel like we're going to have a chance to make a run. And we've got unbelievable support here from school, from community. It's just amazing. So the pieces of the puzzle there are in place. It's our job to try to get that culture, that mindset of unselfishness, hard work, and just where they love each other, because then it turns into it just kind of happens. Yeah,
in years past, there were teams that just refused to lose, but this team was a little bit different. The run through the playoffs was not quite as easy as it has been in the past.
The type of team we had, I don't know that we had an easy game.
Right.
We weren't going to blow anybody out, and we played the number 9 team in the country early in the year. Yeah. And we won 3-2. And we played some teams that probably weren't ranked in the top 900, and we probably won 3-2. And it's just the type of team we had. We had to do everything right and execute, try to throw strikes and change things up, you know, change speeds and get big hits. And over the course of the year, guys gained confidence, and they saw what their roles were, and they got more comfortable in their roles. And you know, by the end of the year, we were a pretty good baseball team.
Yeah, they were an excellent and fun to watch. I tell you, I really enjoyed them all year, but especially in the playoff run. They were just exciting to, you know, and it didn't matter if they were down to their last at, they expected to get the hit and win the ball game.
Yeah.
But with all that said, Coach, you're getting ready to face a new season, and you got that target on your back. So how's 2020 going to look?
2020 is going to look a little different. Every year does, and we've got a lot of guys that are going to step in, fill holes, and but I will say that you know, I'll brag on them a little bit. It's been one of the best off seasons we've ever had, and each year is different as far as motivation and inspiration and what inspires a guy to work. And so, you know, there's very few teams that are able to repeat.
Right.
And we want to, you know, you can't control a lot of things. You know, we want to be as good as we can possibly be. And we want to give ourselves a chance just to repeat, you know, and just to improve every single day. And I've been very impressed with their work ethic, their mentality, and they're working like dogs, and that's what we need to do. And
one thing about the Coleman program is all the teams in North Alabama have really worked hard to get better. So it's not as easy to get out of the North as it used to be.
Baseball is so much better in North Alabama, really in all of Alabama now, than it was 10, 12 years ago. There's more and more good teams. Oh, man. You run up, you know, we used to feel like we see an SEC guy about once every year or two.
Right.
Now we feel like it's once a week or two. I mean, it's amazing how many good players there are. And baseball is getting better. It's really fun to watch. As a coach, you see how much baseball is improving across the state, and you know, it's a good time in Alabama.
Well, I know you're working in the weight room now, and got everything going, and gosh, it'll be end of January before you can turn around, and then season's a blur.
September is, you know, almost gone, and you get into October, and I start feeling like, man, it's almost baseball season. And you start almost not, you know, having that little bit of panicky, like, oh, are we ready? And, you know, after football season, we call it our little spring training. And it's you get 5 days of evaluation, but you can practice your guys. And that's kind of like, you know, we get out there usually right after Thanksgiving. Then we leave, you know, for Christmas break and come back, and we're wide open.
That's right.
And so it's right around the corner. And the guy, like I said, I'm impressed. I'm very happy with them. Their attitudes are fantastic. Hopefully, we're gonna put a team together that's gonna have all those little things, those intangibles that give us a chance to win.
Well, I can't believe that you'd still get nervous after these many years of coaching.
I get nervous. I get nervous a lot. I wish I could be a little more, you know, relaxed a lot of times. But I just start thinking, like, you know, all the things that we need to do and better be ready. And we've got a really good schedule lined up. And if we're not ready, then we're going to get exposed early. So.
Well, I'll give you some advice that I have from my legal career of 42 years. If you don't get nervous and don't get excited, you need to go to the house.
Yeah, probably so.
But we'll certainly be excited about the season starting, and I know you're going to have a great group of kids, and certainly are grateful at the job you've done over the years and your influence, not only on the field but off the field with some amazing athletes that you've coached and put out in society.
Thank you.
All right. And this is the Coleman Football Review brought to you by Bill Smith GMC Buick, also Citizens Bank and Trust, and Coleman Power Board and Target Pest Control. And we'll see you back here next Tuesday night.
When the lights come on, everybody's screaming, lighters in the sky, yeah, everybody's singing every word to every song of the girl they're taking home tonight. When the lights come on, everybody's feeling a hallelujah high from the floor to the ceiling. Yeah, the drink that we're drinking, the smoke that we're smoking, the party we throw, it's going all night long. When the lights come on, when the lights come on. You're a little shy thing with a wild side on a night like this. You just can't hide, cause it's time to live it up. So come on and raise your cup. If we talk about memories, yeah, we're gonna make them. Talk about rules, you know we're gonna break them. When the lights come on, everybody's screaming, lighters in the sky, yeah, everybody's singing every word to every song of the girl they're taking home tonight. When the lights come on, everybody's feeling a hallelujah high from the floor to the ceiling. Yeah, the drink that we're drinking, the smoke that we're smoking, the party we throw, the same thing. We on the same page cause we sippin' the same drink. Here's a little something to thank y'all for showing up. Al Dean and the boys are about to blow it